Laynie and welcome to the channel. How are you guys doing today? Leave it down below. You know I love hearing from you. Welcome to my channel where I don't even know what month it is anymore. I was upstairs just kind of spacing off for a moment and I was like, oh my gosh, it's March. It's March. Wait, hold on. You haven't done a March fragrance tray. I don't know where my brain is anymore. Honestly, the months are just flying by. I feel like I literally just made this February tray. So anyways, that's what we're going to chat about today. We are going to do a monthly tray update. We're going to talk about what I thought about February and what I'm reaching for in March. So if you enjoy fragrance content, make sure you click that subscribe button, join the fam, you won't regret it. And now let's just get going. Literally cannot believe it's already March, and it's not just kind of already March, it is March 8th, you guys. I don't know what's going on. I do have some ideas. It is the fact that we ended up getting influenza towards the very end of February, and it really knocked us out. I mean, for a solid week, we just all in my house felt crummy. And then a week after that, it just seemed like our energy still wasn't back to 100%. We all still are just like a little congested still. My daughter's still coughing. I've heard like those lingering symptoms can take up to a month to go away. So we are finally getting to the tail end of it. My brain just doesn't work anymore. But anyways, let's just kind of talk about my February tray. I honestly really enjoyed my February tray, but not as much as I had liked to, because I will tell you, especially that first week of having influenza, I could not wear fragrance at all. And then the week after that, I could only wear like 2 sprays. Otherwise, it was too much and it would get me coughing. So these did not get used as much as I would have liked. But there is a couple that really stuck out to me. I will tell you, the longer that this Mimic 52, which is supposed to smell like Crybaby, which I've never smelled, but they call theirs sweet strawberry milk. The longer it sits in my collection, the better it gets. This is not a powerhouse. You can often find these at TJ Maxx now at a discount, which is pretty cool. But there's something in here that as it's sat, it's gotten a little bit bolder. It is very airy and soft, musky, but there is this sweet, creamy factor. I wouldn't really say this smells like strawberry milk, because in my head that is very lactonic, like very, but that is not really this. This is like bright, zesty, happy, airy, very playful, and it's not heavy wearing at all, but you can definitely smell it. I do overspray with this one. This has become a really favorite gym scent for me because it isn't overpowering. It's not going to knock anybody out. Kind of wakes me up, gets me in a good mood, and I don't feel like it's going to bother anybody I'm running by on the track or I'm next to on the stair stepper. So I actually wore this to the gym a lot. That is Mimic 52. One, that a coworker actually came to work and she was doing some training and I was by her on the computer and I was like, I have to say, you smell so good. What are you wearing? And she's like, I can't remember. Hold on. She Googled it. She was like, it was this one. And she showed me a picture. I was like, I have that one. And I thought it smelled kind of familiar, but at the same time, it had been a while since I had reached for Yara. I think this is a love it or a hate it. A lot of people like to bash it, but I think this is really lovely. This is kind of like a fruit salad. It says gourmand notes and tropical fruits. And I do get that because I do get kind of like, it's like a fruit salad. It's like a mixture of fruits where it's hard to pinpoint. I would almost think I'm smelling peach, but also maybe like banana. And also maybe a little bit of some star fruit. It really is just kind of a bunch of different fruits together. There's tangerine, there's floral notes. That gourmand accord I do get because there is a creaminess in here. It really makes this smell like a fruit smoothie, honestly. Like if you put vanilla yogurt with a bunch of fruits and blended it all together. And then you add some really beautiful muskiness that I think makes this smell a little elevated. It kind of takes it just from like playful body spray to a little bit more elevated. This again isn't going to knock anybody out, but people are definitely going to smell you. She has a nice scent bubble. I really love this one. This would also be a good gym scent, but I think this would be lovely for all occasions. If I was going to like a spring or summer wedding, I think this would be a really pretty one to wear because you're not going to take over the event, but people are going to smell you. You're going to smell really lovely, really feminine, really approachable, really likable. Pink Sugar, it's not something I want to wear all the time, but in the right occasions, I do love her. I just get super toasted sugar. It is very sexy in my opinion. Some people say it's too young and playful, but for me and my nose, there's something about that toastiness that really makes this more grown woman than it does young woman. When I was a teenager, I don't think I would have reached for this, but it is something I will reach for now. I personally love it on a cold evening. I like to spray it on my scarf, and it's so warm and toasty. It just makes you feel all cozy and good when you're going out in the cold. And that is Pink Sugar by Aquilina. One that, it's funny, I go back and forth on this one if I like it or if I don't like it. I do like her. It's just, for me, I've realized it needs just a little time to dry down for me to really appreciate it, because there's something in the opening that is a little screechy, harsh to my nose. There's no patchouli in here, but like I would swear there's patchouli in here. Like in the blast of the initial opening, I really think I smell like a very in-your-face patchouli. Actually, I think I do know. I think it is the way the pink pepper and the rose mix together that give me a patchouli vibe. But as I live in it a little bit, it starts to soften a bit. I feel like the plum, the vanilla, the musk, the tuberose kind of come out more, and it tames it in a way that is really nice. When I first spray it, I always go, I don't know if I like this. And then like by the time I actually reach work and like start walking around work, then I'm like, you know, I do like this. And I've also really realized whether it depicts how much I like this one or not, this is lovely on a rainy day. A rainy spring day, this is beautiful. It honestly would make an excellent date night. I do wear this to work, but it probably is a little bit more edgy, sexy than I typically reach for at work. But at the same time, you guys, like work is one of the few places I actually get out of the house to go to. So I wear whatever I want, but this one honestly does very much say date night. That is Musk Noir Rose by Narciso Rodriguez. One that I wish I would have reached for more. I think I did at the very start of February, and then I just didn't reach for it anymore. This is Fiery Goddess by Julianna's, which is supposed to smell like God of Fire by Stephanie, I never know how to say this, Humbert Lucas. I might be very much butchering that, but this is Julianna's version. And in here we have a really bright mango lemon combo and some red berries. There's ginger, there's middle notes that are coumarin and jasmine and cedar. In the base we have oud, musk, amber, and cypriol. According to Julianna's website, there's a tangy bitterness of lemon and the spicy warmth of ginger, and I do get this really tangy kind of sharp opening that, again, it's like Noir Rose, where in the opening I'm like, I don't think I like this, but then in the dry down I really like it. The base to me gets very musky. It stays a little fruity. It is kind of sophisticated in a way, but there is something about this, I like it. It's just that opening is a little sharp for me, which isn't my favorite. I have smelled God of Fire in person, and I remember thinking, oh wow, that really does smell like the Juliana. So a pretty darn good dupe. Wouldn't say this is my typical reach or my favorite thing in my collection, but as I live in it, I do enjoy wearing it. It's just that opening gets me just a little bit. Whittian Almond, one of the more expensive in my collections. It was a treat myself moment when we were on vacation, and I was obsessed when I bought it, and I still like it, but there are times where I'm just not into this, and then there's other times I love it. The nose is a weird thing. There's a lot of notes in this Whittian Almond. There is almond, obviously, plum, peach, raspberry, coconut, pink pepper, mandarin. I do really get the coconut in a really lovely way. It's one of those coconuts that doesn't make this beachy. It just makes it really creamy and soft, and I love when coconut does that. Then we have middle notes of tuberose, honeysuckle, orchid, orange blossom, and violet. In the base we have, there's more, praline, vanilla, benzoin, musk, ambrette, patchouli. This to me is just like ultra soft, ultra feminine. It's a very smooth blend, which I enjoy, but weather dictates how I feel about this. Like today is a mild temperature. It's like 48 degrees, but it is so sunny and bright, like we see spring happening, and I'm so glad on a day like today, this is it. Like this matches this kind of day. That is Whittian Almond. One that I took out of my collection, then I brought it back in because I don't know what's going on, but lately I've been craving fruity fragrances, and for the longest time, that just really wasn't my thing. And this is Cherry Delice by Johann B. And I've talked about this brand before, and I'm going to keep talking about this brand because this brand is so good. They're so affordable. You can often find them on Rebel Scents, and the presentation, the bottle, all of it, like you just get an experience. This probably costs like $30, but the bottle is so heavy. Like everything about it is just like beautiful. Like honestly, there are $300 fragrances that don't try this hard. But anyway, this is Cherry Delice, which is actually a strawberry fragrance, which is very misleading that they call it Cherry Delice because you think it's going to be cherry. It is strawberry. I think this is a syrupy version of Burberry Her. I have Burberry Her and I was like, I don't need both. I try to declutter and downsize. I don't need a million fragrances. I mean, I want a million fragrances, but I don't need a million fragrances. And I put it in my to declutter pile. And then one day I was like, I want to smell her. And I was like, okay, she's coming back. But if you don't have Burberry Her and you're on a budget, this is a really good one to get. This is Johann B. Cherry Delice. This is Latte de Fraise, and it's actually a Claire's perfume, and I got it for like $10 on sale. And my daughter loves wearing this one, and at the Y, where she goes all the time, one of the workers was like, she always smells so good when she comes into play. Like, why does she smell so good? I'm like, she loves to wear this little fragrance. It's definitely her favorite, but I like it too. There's a very interesting note of a ruby chocolate, like a pink chocolate, and I really get that in here, which you don't see in a lot of stuff. So like for a super cheap fragrance, definitely a good one. Probably not the longest lasting in my collection, but again, it was $10, so just like pop it in your bag and put it back on. That is Claire's Latte de Fraise. This is Sweet Addict, and I so recommend this. If you love Don't Be Shy, but again, you're not spending $300 and you want an exact dupe, this one, I'm telling you, this smells so similar. Every time I go to a fancy department store that has Love Don't Be Shy, I always get my nose on it because I do love it, but I am not going to spend that kind of money. But this is it. This smells so good. I am absolutely obsessed with this. This is my favorite Valentine's Day fragrance. It just is Valentine's in a bottle. That is Oksha Sweet Addict. Definite downside to having a collection as large as mine is it's fun, but it also is daunting in the fact I have all these fragrances that I truly like, but then I don't reach for them because I'm trying other things, I'm reaching for other things, and they get lost in translation. This is one of those fragrances that gets stuck in the back of my collection all the time, and I never reach for it, and then when I finally do, I'm like, this is so good. I don't know why I just don't reach for her more. This is Cacharel, Yes I Am, another super affordable fragrance. The milk and caramel in here are really lovely with those fruity floral notes. This is definitely date night. The bottle is 100% the type of fragrance you're getting. It's a little vixen, definitely sexy, but the kind of sexy men are really drawn to, the flirty, fruity, feminine. This is it. Again, I don't know why I don't reach for her more often. That is Yes I Am by Cacharel. And then lastly, one that is very much a favorite in my collection that took a minute to grow on me. And like once it clicked in my brain, I'm just in love. This is Juliet Has a Gun Lipstick Fever. It is a woody, ISO super raspberry, powdery, makeup-y type fragrance. This is a favorite for the gym for sure. It's airy, it's woody, it's fresh, but not in the shampoo sense. It is so makeup-y and I love that. The name is 100% Lipstick Fever. Think old school lipstick vibes, love it. That little splash of raspberry that's in there is so good. I have definitely worn this. Like, this has a bigger dent than a lot of my fragrances. I can really spray this one down. It never gets to be too much ever. I have to tell you guys, I'm like so excited for the new launch from Juliet Has a Gun. That Miami Shake, oh my gosh, that might be my birthday fragrance this year. I want to spoil myself with one fragrance and that might be it. I'm so curious. It's supposed to smell like a strawberry milkshake. But Juliet Has a Gun Lipstick Fever is actually one of my husband's favorites in my collection. He actually comes down here and will smell it and he's always like, what's that one that says lipstick on it? Like, he really likes this. It's unique, it's different, it's never too much. I love Lipstick Fever. I am excited to reach for some other things in March. I am feeling spring. Like, look at my shirt, look at the pink lip, like I'm ready for it. I am ready for some sunny days, warmer weather, getting outside. So spring is on the brain and that is the kind of stuff I plan to reach for. So let's go take a look. Please ignore the fact that this is not in the normal order at all. My daughter is obsessed with my perfume collection. She loves to come down here and go through them all and film videos. So everything is basically out of order. But I have some ideas, like what I'm feeling. I feel like this says spring, and this says spring, and that says spring, so those might all go. I really love this one. I might have to pick that. I haven't reached for this in a while. This is very springy. I was kind of thinking this one. Like, there's so many good springy ones in here. It is going to be hard to pick. I'm going to think for a second, and I will be right back. I used to love layering my fragrances. Like, I was a layering queen. I loved it. The last 6 months, I have not been into layering. I may layer like a body spray with a perfume, but I don't really mix and match my perfumes anymore. Because I have a large collection, I like to really feel like I'm learning the set fragrance. Like I want to feel like I'm really becoming an expert on that fragrance. And I think it's because I'm trying to pay attention like all the time with my fragrances. Since this isn't just a hobby, I like to share it with you guys here on YouTube. Like I feel like my brain is always working in that kind of business mode. Like this isn't for fun. This is to understand the fragrance. This is to know the longevity, to remember what notes stick out. So I think that is a big part of it. But that's one thing that I'm realizing, that I can't overstuff my trays as well because I'm not gonna mix things up. Anyways, that's the thought process. I did pick up Kylie Cosmic. This is a very definite spring fragrance, a soft floral. She's pretty, she's likable. I really want to smell the 2.0 just because I'm curious. Beautiful Bella, Julianna's dupe for, why am I blanking? Dama Bianca. Just wanted to make sure. It's been a while since I reached for her. This one is so good, like full bottle worthy for sure. Dama Bianca is just so beautiful, but like in a very soft, approachable, feminine, like it is really a lovely scent, and the Julianna's is top notch. Florist, this is a super floral fragrance, more floral than I typically do. I'm not gonna lie, bought it for the bottle. I want to smell like a true floral market. This is a floral fragrance. There's a very nice creaminess in there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's gardenia though. I feel like gardenia is a creamy floral. I just love the bottle. And then this one I actually received from Influencer, which was so exciting. Wonderbloom Mints Camuto. I think the bottle is super fun. Sure, it's a little big, a little gaudy, but that's just like right up my alley. So cute, like a very shampoo-y perfume, which I've actually been in the mood for. The nose changes, the brain changes, the seasons change. Okay, you feel me? This is another Influencer, Daisy Love Marc Jacobs. This is kind of a different one, and it's hard to describe. It's bright, it's juicy, but there's also something kind of grounded and earthy in there. This one, I don't know, kind of reminds me of like a rainy day or something, but I think the bottle is so cute. This is Phlur Mood Ring. I really like that gummy bear note in there. Like I do get it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Mugler fan. I do have the Dossier dupe of Alien, which I actually like more than the real thing. Sorry, but this is Aura by Mugler. There's something really cool in here because there is a cinnamon leaf note, much softer than a typical cinnamon note. The 90s kid in me absolutely loves that this looks like something from Zelda, and that's why I'll never get rid of it. Does this not remind you of like, hey, look over here, this way, like Zelda, right? Skyler, Sunkissed Dahlia. This was an impulse buy on vacation because it was super marked off at Sephora. So random, I don't know why, but it was like way marked off, I think like 50%, and I was like, oh, I have to. This has a really lovely fruity note in there, and I can't remember the name of the fruit, but it's something you don't see a lot. I want to say like mammy. There is mammy in here, but there's also apple, and I'm getting a lot of that apple, but I really love the custard note in here, and what it does, it adds just a lovely creaminess, but this is also very musky at the same time. I just love the whole vibe of Skyler. I love the bottles, I love the price, I love that they're clean. I don't know, I just really do enjoy Skyler fragrances. This one was kind of one of those, like I'm looking through, I'm like, oh, you know what, I am gonna pick up that one. I really haven't worn this much. This is Khair Fusion, which is supposed to smell like Kylie lychee. I love the Kylie, but that one just doesn't really last that well, and for the price, I just wasn't willing to do it. This is the Ledda 22 Orris, which is probably one of my favorites in my collection, even though like there's not the biggest dent. This is so good. I have every launch she's done so far. Not every one of them is an instant hit for me. Some of these Leddas have to grow on me because they are different. They're not really...
Hi, Poppy.
Hi, what are you doing?
You got a purple one.
Yeah. So, sorry, distracted, don't know what I was saying, but I really do like the House of Ledda. The bottles to me are just perfection, I can't lie. Like I feel so ritzy holding these. This really is a luxe, like truly an I've got money type fragrance, and I do love giving that vibe. I don't got a lot of money, but I like smelling like it, and this does that for sure. Then the last thing on my tray is a brand new one that just came out to Target that I'm super excited to give a real wear. I've smelled it, but I haven't really worn it. Sugared Violet by MixBar. I love their fragrances. That is the last one on the tray. Definitely excited to give these a wear. I think this will be a really fun tray, and it's just what I'm craving, what my heart desires, you guys. I know I've said it 5 times probably, but I'm over winter. I can't take it no more. Anyways, that is my March tray. Sorry it's coming up so late. And let me know down below, what are you reaching for in the month of March? I love hearing what you guys are reaching for, so share it down below. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for hanging out with me. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.